Black Clover Chapter 233 is out, and this is one of those reveals that the community has been speaking about probably over a year now, theorizing that Yuno could be a royal. And then we find out that he is a royal, but not from the Clover Kingdom, but for the Spade Kingdom. And I feel like this was pretty obvious, because ever since we seen that chapter, the way it ended a few chapters back when we seen the guy show up to Hodge Village and said Master Yuno, I think we all put two and two together that okay, Yuno is clearly a royal, who else would call a peasant master? But this just puts Yuno in a more awkward position. You are a magic knight in the Clover Kingdom, but you are a prince, soon to be king in the Spade Kingdom. What will you choose? This makes the story a lot more interesting now. There's so much to unpack here just from this chapter alone. So let's not even waste any more time now. Let's talk about Black Clover Chapter 233, Destiny Begins to Stir. This chapter starts off where we see Asta still trying to tell Charmy to get out of the Heart Kingdom's forest because she is eating up all their fruits. But of course, the way Charmy is, anyone who tells her what to do when it comes to food, she gets very aggressive, and this time she wants to fight Asta. But before she uses her magic, we see a circle of magical runes around her. This is the same thing we seen from Gaia, we seen from Luck and Leopold, Mimosa. You know, these guys have been all training together, so it makes sense for all these characters, except for Asta, to have all these magical runes around their magic now. But with her magic, she was able to summon a giant sheep, and she was also able to bring out the gluttonous animals around the forest to protect her. I guess during this time skip, Charmy learned how to be Snow White, because now she can summon animals that's just like her to protect her. That is crazy. We then see one of the spirit guardians show up out of nowhere and says that he's probably the one that is responsible by creating this inconceivable monster. It is my mission to stop her, implying that he is one of the spirit guardians who trained Charmy. He has plant creation magic, which is pretty cool, but his plant creation magic is not working against Charmy because she is in her gluttonous state right now, so nothing is stopping her at the moment. But then we see Rel. He shows up and say, leave the rest to me. Charmy is my friend. We went through intensive training together, so it is my responsibility to stop her. Which I do find this a little odd, because I would think that Mimosa also were trained by this spirit guardian. If not, it would be strange because they both are quite similar, so Mimosa can learn a lot. But it's possible that she's still trained under him because there's only 5 spirit guardians, so a lot of people had probably the same training partner, or the same master. The Heart Kingdom's magic, they are more structure, while the Clover Kingdom is just off the wall magic. I believe that the spirit guardians, they all have each of the elements, you know, like Gaia Lightning, that's clearly Luck's master, someone that has fire, that's clearly Leo's, someone who has water, that could be Noel, someone who has wind, who knows who can that be? Even though lightning is a magic variation that comes from wind, so it's possible that they can both have that sort of element. And then we see plant. So I will assume that Mimosa also trained under this guy as well. And then we see Rel use a spell called Painting Magic, Passion Filled with Ice, Invasion, using against Charmy's sheep, and also creating a path for Asta to escape. And this was probably the best shot. This next panel where you see Asta and Rel, you see Rel on his little dragon bird, whatever this thing called. It pretty much looked like the exact same thing that he used against Yuno during the tournament. And then we see Asta riding his Demon Slayer sword like he's the Silver Surfer or Gogo and Flying Nimbus, with his other sword out, and they just fly past Charmy and they slice her sheep magic. That was just the coolest thing for me, because I can never get over the fact that at one point Asta couldn't even fly a magic broom, but now look at him now. He's doing it like a pro. It's just awesome to see, because it just makes me think that we're going to see battles between Asta and some other strong characters where they both flying, clashing with each other, while Asta is using his Demon Slayer sword to fly on, but his other 2 swords are out. That is just going to be too awesome. But in one strike, Asta and Rel were able to take down Charmy, letting her know that it is not good and it's not okay to eat like that all the time. And Asta compliments Rel, asking him, how did you get so powerful? And he says that every time he thinks of a certain someone, he gets more creative. Half a year ago, I was taken over by an elf, but I was saved by a goddess. She's destined to be my partner for sure. Whenever I exchange glances with her, she makes me become a stronger man, but better, a stronger captain. And Asa starts thinking to himself like, wait, The person that saved you was Charmy when she defeated you during that Shadow Palace. Are you talking about Miss Charmy? And Rel is so confused. He's like, how are you talking about Charmy? Are you making a joke, Asta? She was not as plump as her. And Charmy, she got a little offended. She's saying, well, I'm not plump, thick is a new style. And it's clear to us that clearly Charmy does not remember this event. And maybe because when she transformed into this state, everything that happened before the process, she forgets everything. But we know it's going to happen again, and once it happens again, Rel is going to lose his mind once he realized that was Charmy. And this is pretty funny because now Tabata is kind of shipping Rel and Charmy. And honestly, I can see them more together despite the fact that she's in love with Yuno. But, Yuno and Charmy, they don't really match. While on the other hand, personality-wise, Rel and Charmy, they have a lot in common. I can definitely get behind this ship if that's what Tabata is going for, because I totally see it. We then switch over to Yuno back at Hodge Village from the request of this guy, this mysterious guy that showed up to Sister Lily at the church. And then we see a flashback going on with William talking to Yuno before he left, saying that he obtained a treasure that was in possession of Rebshi and Gildre. So now Yuno has his magic stone necklace back, which is pretty cool because this necklace also increases his magic. And he's very surprised because he's saying to himself he would have never thought he would be the reason that he will have it back. But it's funny because this entire time, Belle is talking to Yuno, but he is completely ignoring her. He then meets down and meets Sister Lily, and they talk about how long it's been since they seen each other, and she invites Yuno in. And immediately, soon as Yuno walked in, the guy that was laying on a bed, soon as he's seen Yuno, he says to himself, it's like I'm seeing Master Ciel himself. Which we all know from this little dialogue alone, we know he's talking about Yuno's father. And it's more confirmation for him because soon as he sees Yuno's necklace, he's saying that there's no way, there's no mistaking it, that's definitely him. Sister Lily then tells Yuno that this is a respectable man from the Spade Kingdom, but Yuno is on high alert. He's letting them know that there are people from the Spade Kingdom attacking the Diamond Kingdom, but the guy lets Yuno know that I am not your enemy. Originally, the Spade Kingdom was a peaceful country. Despite its code, everyone was happy living in harmony, ruled by the Grinbellior family. And then those guys, the Dark Triad, arrive and exile the Grinbellior family. They filled the citizens with fear until they completely ruled over them. In other words, Master Yuno, you are part of the Grinbellior family. You are the prince of the Spade Kingdom. And that is how this chapter ends. Now let's talk about a few things, alright? He mentioned that the Grinbellior family were exiled. Exiled, they were kicked out the kingdom. So that lets me know there are other people from the Grinbellior family that are still out there. And they have to, because who else brought Yuno to Hodge Village? Of course, with Asta. But this also makes the question, who is Asta family? Is he part of the Grinbellior family? Of course not, because him and Yuno, they don't look nothing alike, different eye colors, different hair colors. But I do think that Asta's family could potentially be a servant to the Grinbellior family. It's very possible. I'm pretty sure if Asta was part of the Grinbellior family, this guy would have showed up just to talk to Asta and Yuno, not just Yuno. So this also makes Asta's origin even more mysterious, but also the look on Yuno's eyes. He was so shocked, he was so puzzled that wow, this is unbelievable. But at the exact same time, knowing that you are a prince in another kingdom, if you stop the Dark Triad, which this arc is all about, you will be the king. You are the last hope. So you are in the Clover Kingdom. Your goal is to be Wizard King. But now you have the potential to be king in another kingdom. What do you decide? Do you still dream of being a Wizard King? I think a lot of that will come to the test. But at the exact same time, if Yuno does not claim his kingship after the Dark Triad and Magicula are defeated, who would take this kingship? Who will rule the Spade Kingdom? So many questions. And also, let's not forget, Yuno made a promise to Asta that they both will compete to become Wizard King. So that promise is now in jeopardy. I don't know what Yuno would do. I would think he would stay in the Clover Kingdom, but I feel like that's a different topic for a different day. That's just its own separate video. So with that, this chapter was very interesting. I'll definitely give it about a 6 or a 7. I have so many questions, but I'm just going to say that for different videos. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. If you are new to the channel, subscribe with notification bells on. Discord will be in the description. You guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourself, and I'm out.